Let me at 'em!
Well, there it is. Hi guys, my name is WTii and welcome to my reactions to the new patch coming on March the 15th, 2016. The Warcraft 3 patch 1.27. Woohoo! Yes, it's about time, huh? Well, it was about time, I don't know, about 9 months ago when they last updated things. The 28th of May, yes, 28th of May 2015, they actually decided to update the ladder pool by resetting everyone's accounts as well as changing the map rotation. So on May the 28th, we will be conducting maintenance to reset the ladders and rotate the available maps for Warcraft 3. We anticipate the realms could be down for up to 3 hours, and during that time, current ladder rankings will be reset. To participate in the new season, simply wait until the Warcraft 3 realms return to service. Well, that was on the 28th of May 2015, and you know what happened about 2 weeks to even a month later? They decided to go back on the map changes that they made, revert everything apart from the ladder reset. So essentially it was just a ladder reset, and the map was almost like, well, the map changes were almost like a test. They got it quite wrong. They got a lot of complaints and people did not like the maps they chose, and they said they would be coming back to us in the future. Now I assumed that maybe be a month or two, but apparently we're getting there now, so at least there's something, and this is a step in the right direction. So what are we going to be expecting from this patch? Well, there's a lot of speculation going on, and I think the main things that we can gather from Robert Breidenbecker, who gave us this little bit of information regarding, he's the guy who heads the Classic Games team, by the way. So if you remember, I made a few videos a while back regarding Blizzard advertising for jobs within their Classic Games team. So people like outsource suppliers and, you know, senior software engineers, people that will basically work on the Warcraft 3 engine, or just the engine of like the classic games, Warcraft 3, Diablo 2, StarCraft, that kind of thing. So they've obviously been busy, and we're starting to see a little bit of fruition, and we'll really get to see what they've got to do come March the 15th, and I will definitely be covering that in more ways than one, on YouTube, Twitch, streaming it, you know, you name it, I'll be doing it. So what are we going to be getting? We don't know specifically yet, but here's what we can hope for, okay? Ping. So currently the ping is set to 150 milliseconds, and then you have your connection speed on top of that. So if you had 22 ms, you would have 172 milliseconds. And that's not really great for when it comes to competitive play. It's doable. Obviously, I play a lot of games on Battlenet. I've got used to it. But when you play on Warfare Arena or a custom game where the ping is basically nothing, you really notice the difference. So that's one of the things that we would like to see set upon. The Battlenet interface. I've not got a problem with it, but I believe Robert himself mentioned that they made changes to the functionality and all that kind of stuff, the way that people communicate with their friends, as well as the matchmaking being improved. So I'll be interested to see whether there's a whole unique change. Hopefully they don't go too far into the StarCraft 2, you know, Battlenet 2.0 direction, because that wasn't that great. I don't think many people liked. It was joked upon for a long time. It was called Battlenet 0.2 because it was basically a step in a backwards direction. You know, you had separated connections. You couldn't connect to. I mean, currently in Warcraft 3, I connect to the Asian server. I can connect to the, you know, America's server or the European server. But in Battlenet 2.0, you were basically fixed upon your own area. So for me, that would be Europe. And there were so many other things about it that were basically backwards compared to what you could currently do in Diablo 2 and Warcraft 3, the Battlenet 1.0 interface. So hopefully they've learned a few lessons and they get that right. Updated ladder pool. Well, they tried it once before. They've had plenty of time to think about where they went wrong. And I've made a few videos myself, sort of like regarding map reviews. So I looked over the maps that they put into the game. I've looked into other maps that people have created, and including other maps as well that Blizzard currently have, but aren't available on the ladder right now, but could be revamped to such a degree that they could be great maps to be additionally put into that ladder pool. There's so much you could do, and all you need to do is speak to me, Blizzard. I can help you out with this. So I would love to see a ladder change across the board. A ladder reset would obviously be fantastic. It makes sense, especially if you're going to basically essentially revamp the game. You may as well reset the ladder, get everyone, interested in playing it again. It's just one of the many things to do to basically bring Warcraft 3 back to the community. So ladder reset, ladder map repull, revamp, rotation, whatever you want to call it. Mix it up, change it up, make it good. So you've had a go at it, and hopefully you've learned a bit, and we can get some better maps this time, and everyone can have some fun playing those new maps on a new ladder reset. Going for rank 1, huh? Race you there. So one other thing. Actually, there's two other things. I'm going to leave one of those things at the last. I'm probably going to make another video about it separately in another case. But the next thing to talk about is the balance. Are they going to change the balance? Are they going to play it safe and just reset the ladder, reset the interface, reset the functionality of Battlenet? So basically the technical side of Battlenet, make that solid before changing how the meta, the gameplay actually works. Especially the upgraded graphics. I didn't even mention that, I don't think. There's the potential of upgraded graphics. If they do that, again, that's another video in its own right, really, but if they do that, just make sure that it has the same pop that Warcraft 3 has, because everything is very distinct in Warcraft 3. It's very easy to follow, in my opinion. I've been playing it a long time, and I think even as a new viewer, you can kind of get a good grasp of what's going on because of the simplistic, beautiful color palettes that Warcraft 3, employ within their models and their textures. It's very clear as to what's going on, whereas we've noticed from StarCraft 2 mods, WoW, so the Alliance and Horde, Armies of Azeroth, those kind of things, implementing the Warcraft 3 into that with the StarCraft 2 meshes and textures and the way that works comes across a little bit shiny and metallic, which doesn't really work with the Warcraft 3 universe so well. So if they do update the graphics, I hope it's going to be a super minor update, like just HDify it a little bit. It doesn't need to be much. You remember when they updated the Warcraft 3 models into the StarCraft 2 engine? Again, I did a video about that a while ago. I might just put a whole post of links in this, so you can always check the old school stuff that I did regarding Blizzard's changes to Warcraft 3 and what we might be expecting from this patch 1.27. And they basically put in the heroes, the units into the StarCraft 2 engine. I was like, whoa, what's this all about? Is this practicing? Is this sort of like working on the animations and that, so they can then put that back into Warcraft 3, so they HDify it in the StarCraft 2 engine and pull it back into Warcraft 3? I'm not a technical man, so I don't really know exactly how they go about doing it, but maybe that's one way to go about experiencing how they could update the Warcraft 3 graphics. Either way, that would be a nice implementation if we can expect to see it. So, well, the balance, going back to the balance thing, okay. So there's been rumours, the Warden and the footman might be getting changed. Like Back to Warcraft was saying on his video regarding this, that China obviously have a big problem and they're highly competitive, highly competitive. Robert Breinbecker's video was actually addressed to China, talking about this patch, which is going to go globally to the rest of the world. And China take their Warcraft 3 incredibly seriously in esports. It's still very big over there, which is pretty much a good reason why we're seeing this patch be implemented in the first place, thanks to China, really. So, Warden? We don't necessarily have big problem with it over here in Europe, but apparently in Asia is a big deal. So we could be seeing a Warden change. There might be a footman change. That one shocked me. I'm not sure what's exactly wrong with the footman. He seems pretty good, standard, not too strong, not too weak, does the job. Maybe they'll reduce the damage and the health a little bit, but then it just becomes a ghoul, so I don't know really what your aim is with that. Perhaps it's because of fast expansions and then just spamming out the footman because you spent your wood on the expansion and the towers and you just get enough footmen with the gold that you have just to keep that alive and stop the enemy from coming at you. But I don't know. I don't think the pros really suffer that much versus footmen. Perhaps the early rushes that Archmage employ at level 3 with Water Elemental and then a bunch of footmen, and they just basically beeline to an Orc space and go for burrows, or the Night Elf space and go for wisps and that kind of thing. I can understand that a little bit, so maybe by weakening the footmen they sort of like make it a little bit more punishing for human players, because humans are highly regarded as probably the strongest race. I don't want to definitely put 100% on that, but I'm pretty confident that humans are regarded as the strongest race in Warcraft 3, especially amongst the Chinese community. So, yeah, you might be expecting to change the footman because of things like that. Blademaster is the real obvious choice for a nerf, and the main thing being his critical strike, because that's the most random element that basically makes the game either really fun or really unfun, depending on who's playing. If you're the guy with the Blademaster, you get 200, 2 to 300 crits in a row, thanks to your claws of attack +9 and your good old critical strike passive that you have. Yeah, you're going to be having a great time. But if you're the guy that just suffered that, that sucks for you, because he might have not got those crits. Now, Grubby said, you need to account for the possibility of those crits, but they need to make it so that they can't crit quite so high, but perhaps it's a little bit more consistent, but it's much lower. That way you've got a much better medium of damage rather than this spike. So I could understand the Blademaster definitely getting touched in that way. Blizzard are almost definitely going to be looking at 1 versus 1 balance, I would have thought, not sort of like 2 versus 2 and 4 versus 4 balance. So things like Frostworms and Steam Tanks, I don't know whether they're ever going to get balanced. I think someone mentioned it the other day in one of my streams, like Frostworms. I always said, like, there's 2 things guaranteed in life. That's standard, like death and taxes. There's 3 things guaranteed in life if you're a Warcraft 3 player: death, taxes, and Frostworm imbalance. It's just a guarantee. So yeah, I don't think Frostworms will get changed, because if they do, or they get nerfed, it will impact 1 versus 1 too much. But they are a little bit crazy. But anyway, that's a separate case. Yeah, so balance. Maybe that gets done in this patch. Maybe that gets done like a month down the line. They just want to make sure that this patch works. The technical side works. Everything is running smoothly. Then they can implement the patch. Then they can start making the changes. Interesting. Now, what's the biggest problem? Right. Now, if you haven't guessed this one yet, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds. 1, 2, map hack. Battlenet is plagued with map hack. Hackers everywhere. Now, it's not just map hack. That's the ability to see the entire map, what your opponent is building, what they're doing, how long they've got until their hero comes out. All these little things they can do. Map hack is just the tip of the iceberg. They also have lag hack, disc hack. There's a whole ton of hacks that just spoil the game so much on a competitive level. I said it the other day that I'm actually surprised when I'm not playing against a map hacker. That's kind of how bad it's got, and it's really sad that it's got to that case. I was playing a free-for-all the other day. 1 player left, didn't know whether he was a map hacker, but the other 2 players that were left in the game were both map hackers, and they decided to team me because I was in a more dominant position. And because they could see the entire map, they just knew exactly where to go, what to do. One of them actually built Witch Doctors, despite the fact he had map hack, purely because I built Witch Doctors to put sentry wards down. So he built Witch Doctors to put sentry wards down just to kill my sentry wards. That's the extent it went to. He didn't build Witch Doctors for his own purpose of scouting the map or stuns or whatever. He just built it just to kill my sentry wards, because that was the only legit way I could see what was going on the map. And it's a nightmare to play against these people. They creep jack you. They're just utter scum. Utter scum. So if Blizzard make the changes, they go, hey guys, Warcraft 3 is back, look at this, it looks shiny, the interface is nice, you've got better features, it even looks better, the character models, it's great, come on, join the ladder, the maps have been changed, the ladder's reset, you can start anew with everyone else. But if they don't do something about map hack, how long do you think those new players are going to stay for when they get tired of getting ganked upon ganked upon ganked? The first couple of times they might not realise it, but after a while they'll go, hang on a second, this ain't right. And it's just going to impact their gameplay, the feel of the enjoyment of the game, and eventually they're probably going to end up leaving, which is just going to leave us with the old school people, which is fine. But obviously we want to bring some new blood and new life into this game. If we want this game to be successful and go forward into the future, we need to keep revamping it and bringing new people in, joining the community, building the community. So there's my thoughts. I'm really excited about this patch, and I think it's probably going to be one of many down the line. I don't think you're going to get everything in one go, and the things that I've mentioned earlier are things that we can probably expect to see, but not guaranteed to see. So let me know what you guys think. What do you most likely expect to see? Like, do a little top 3 list. The top 3 things you almost are guaranteed to see in this patch. And then maybe do a list underneath that. So the top 3 things you expect to see, and then the top 3 things you don't expect to see. So what do you think Blizzard will do, and what do you think Blizzard won't do in this patch? So thank you very much for watching, guys. Make sure to thumbs up the video and share it with others if you think they'll enjoy this or they're also interested in joining the Warcraft 3 community. I currently run a YouTube channel or two, but the other channel does other stuff. This YouTube channel is dedicated to Warcraft 3 content. I upload Warcraft 3 content on a daily basis, sometimes 2 videos a day, and I'm constantly keeping up to date with everything that's going on, as well as being able to stream on a regular basis the Warcraft 3 content, which I'm very grateful for the community I built there. So if you fancy joining in over there, you can always go to twitch.tv/WTii. And if you want to make Warcraft 3 more of a consistent thing, then you can always come over to my patreon.com/WTiWarcraft, which is a place where you can go to support me in creating more Warcraft 3 content for yourselves. Alright then, thank you very much everyone for watching, take care, and hopefully we get to see just how awesome this patch is going to be real soon. March the 15th. It's so close. Alright, take care guys, bye bye.